It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Lot of broken promises I've been waiting on. Lot of y'all been hating, but that's the way it go. People I used to run with trying to play me. No matter what they do, can't let them change me, no. Lot of broken promises I've been waiting on. Lot of y'all been hating, but that's the way it go. Women I used to love them try to play me. No matter what they do, can't let them change me, no. Call up my parents for clarity. They left it to Cali for hours, a baby. I wonder if fashion was fair to me. Never got to connect with my family. But here I am on my way to 100 grand. It's independent game that took me from apartments to some land. I guess I should be grateful. All my life I wanted them pesos. Living was shameful. Working jobs for minimum payroll. Willing and able. Couldn't find my way out the trap. Met a girl to push me forward. So nice, no looking back. So many snakes I dead them. Cut them off, I had to behead them. Fake managers that wanna be rappers, man, I regret them. In this city, everybody crave a taste of the fame. The ones I thought would keep it silent, they turned out to be lames. I wish them well though, don't hope they fail though. Delete my cell though, cause I ain't got the time for the captain like a sombrero. Shopping on Melrose, about to hit the strip with a grip. Kinda crazy how I made it this far. Life is a trip, right?
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. If you enjoyed that intro song, it's called Broken Promises. It's from my Southside Nolan album. Y'all could get that on all streaming platforms. It's available for you, or you could go to my website, realjnolan.com, and you can purchase it directly. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all that like to, have access to it without the third parties and middlemen and stuff like that. It's there for you. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Kendrick Lamar, of course, but from the perspective of Friday Ricky Dred. Is that his name? Let me make sure I say the nigga name right. Yeah, Friday Ricky Dred. Now, he's a media personality from Canada. And I've seen him try to do some objective work in terms of like publicly admonishing and criticizing Top 5 for his conduct and stuff like that. But he is a media personality from Toronto. And apparently within the last week or so, he's taken a very weird twist and turn. And I don't know everything that he does or everything he's done. I know some people were saying that before he was, pro Drake or whatever, which I can't be mad at anybody that likes Drake or that supports Drake or amplifies his music. If that's who you like, that's who you like. That's not my platform. However, when you start spreading lies, I do correct lies. That's something that I love to do. But apparently in the last week or so, he's taking some shots at Kendrick Lamar. He's found himself at odds with DJ Hed. Just last week, they did a Culture United on the Company Man's channel, and he had some questions. He felt like Kendrick Lamar spent way too much time on Drake during the Super Bowl performance halftime. DJ Hed basically was letting him know, like, if it's up, it's up. You can't determine when, why, or how I decide to react or at what lengths I should be able to go in reaction to your disrespect. To which Friday Ricky Dred didn't seem all that responsive to what DJ Hed was telling him, and he kept basically coming back to his original point without really accepting the information that he was receiving, right? All that, whatever. But yesterday, around 10 p.m. last night, actually, he sends a tweet out in Kendrick Lamar's direction specifically. So here he says, "Hey, Kendrick Lamar, next time you diss a rapper, let's try to not other a whole country with black people and culture too. You literally created the most divisive song in history. Thanks." As you can see, the numbers on this tweet are exponentially rising as I'm actually recording. That shit just jumped because people are catching wind of this shit and they really going ham on his ass, which I can't necessarily be mad at, especially when you say the most divisive song in history. Oh boy. Now, of course, when he says try not to other a whole country with black people and culture too, he's speaking of Canada, right? He's from Canada. There's black people in Canada. And some people will counter that, as far as like the technicality of African American, which that's a conversation for a whole nother time. But I do understand that there's some people out there that would take that route, right? There's a very high population of, you know, African immigrants, Jamaican immigrants, West Indian immigrant population out there in Canada, almost like the UK. And some people would argue, you know, their blackness as black as a construct of American, culture or whatever. But without trying to go too deep into it, he's basically saying we got black folks out here. We have our own culture here too. Why outcast us like we're less than or not a part of this thing, right? Which I don't understand. I don't see where I don't see where Kendrick Lamar did that. I don't see where he really dissed Canada like that. He just used it as, as I guess fuel to the fire. But he didn't diss Canada. Now he did say that y'all imitate Americans, which I don't think is a lie, especially in the context of Drake, because his whole career has been cosplaying somewhat as an American hip hop artist. The majority of his fans are in America. The majority of his everything. He moved here. He lived here in multiple states. He's used the culture of various artists from various American cities as his launching pad and as his natural resource for staying power for going on 2 decades. And if we're engaged in a beef and a battle, that's not off the table for me to talk about, right? But I don't see where he just outright dissed the whole country of Canada and said that y'all were othered and y'all don't have no culture and that y'all just overall suck. Because Kendrick is getting massive love and support in Canada and Toronto specifically, even before, during, and after everything transpired. So I don't know why you took it to that level or that degree, but I think he is actually angry at DJ Hed and decided to take a shot specifically at Kendrick. Although he has probably, pent up animosity towards Kendrick because he leveled their hometown hero. So in other tweets, he says some other things. This person, Neek, jumps in. This is a young lady, by the way. She jumps in and says he wasn't talking about Canada, as I just stated. She says, I know y'all been told this countless times. I think y'all just wanted to seem that way. Why the fuck would he diss Canada when he has fans there? He was talking about Drake and the whole VO crew. Relax. To which Friday Ricky Dred responds. He says, so explain this. And this is where he brings DJ Hed into the conversation. He says, so explain this. Why would DJ Hed talk to me like I'm stupid and doesn't understand culture and beef? It's because of an implicit bias that he and a lot have about Canada, based on what you think about Drake. Why would he do the Too Short test? It's because he thinks I'm not like y'all. Okay? So he's included himself into the not like us conversation. And once again, I'm sure there's some people out there that would identify Friday Ricky Dred even prior to all of this as a not like us in terms of black culture. But he's taking severe offense to this. And when he talks about DJ Hed talking to him like he's stupid and doesn't understand culture and beef, once again, that goes back to the conversation on Culture United on the Company Man's channel, in which DJ Hed basically was trying to let him know, based on where we come from here in Cali, in the West Coast, with all of the things that surround us, Kendrick Lamar is a product of all of these things, the violence, the codes, the ethics that come from street lifestyle. You could even say gang lifestyle, but I'll just say street because to our knowledge, Kendrick doesn't claim or bang a set, but we know he comes from a very notorious one as far as his neighborhood is concerned, right? So DJ Hed was trying to explain to him, based on these things, if Drake comes out and disparages a man's wife, girlfriend, common law wife, whatever you want to identify her as, fiance, his child, claims he has an illegitimate child that is biologically fathered by his best friend and business partner of since they were in high school, right? Why would I ever let that go, right? There's a portion in which Friday Ricky Dred even said, you know, I'm willing to bet 10 years from now, Drake and Kendrick Lamar would piece it up and have a photo op where Drake's arm is around Kendrick Lamar, to which DJ Hed said, no, sir, that would not happen, right? And there's multiple other instances in that conversation in which DJ Hed was basically trying to school this guy on Kendrick. I mean, this is one of his personal friends. This is somebody that he's worked with for many years, somebody who he's witnessed the development from the beginning. You would think, okay, maybe I would listen to the guy who's actually been around him for over a decade, if not longer. But for whatever reason, Friday just wasn't clicking. Maybe he was on Saturday, maybe he was on Sunday, but he definitely was not registering on Friday. You know what I'm saying? So another Twitter user, Twiz, I ain't gonna cap, says, why your goofy ass didn't tell this to DJ Hed when you had a chance, when y'all were both on live stream last week? You said you got all this animosity towards Kendrick and DJ Hed. How come you didn't voice any of this when y'all were actually having a conversation? He says, you're creating this false narrative that Kendrick was dissing Canada when he was literally dissing Drake and OVO for the way they act tough when it's really like that on the West Coast. You are proving to be uncultured. Oh, man. That's tough. Truthful, but tough. Now, I got to say, Friday, you're not making your case very strong here. You're taking things, you're conflating them, you're confusing them. You're creating a narrative that nobody really was coming from that angle. The only problem is some of you Canadian content creators, rather than just covering Drake, covering Kendrick, and just like letting it be what it was, I think everybody understands he took an L. He's going to continue to take L's, especially as he continues to play his hand in the court of public opinion in the way that he does. But the way you internalized it and made it seem like he was taking personal shots and digs in your direction is kind of crazy. I think Not Like Us is double platinum in Canada, as a matter of fact, or some stat like that was released. So clearly the whole country ain't taking offense. Right? I could have swore it was motherfuckers out there that was defacing OVO shit in Canada. You know what I'm saying? So clearly there's some love in Kendrick's direction from Canada. So not everybody feels this way, but there's a select few of y'all that are just taking this in the wrong way. And again, personalizing this situation as if he put your name in the song or something. So getting back to Friday Ricky Dred's animus and I guess displeasure with the song Not Like Us. Let's go back to the conversation him and DJ Hed had as it pertained to the Super Bowl and all of this different stuff, just for further context to understand where this energy is coming from. Now, before I get into this, I want to give a shout out to the company man, Gina Views, Curtis King, DJ Hed, Wayno, who were all a part of this conversation along with Friday Ricky Dred. And, it low-key was like I'll say a 4-on-1. Company man, he was moderating, kind of getting his questions in and stuff like that. But, I mean, you got 3 West Coast people in this chat here. They definitely riding. Gina Views was kind of quiet, too. She didn't go, she didn't fly off the handle, which she can be very opinionated herself about these matters. Wayno, even though sometimes Wayno has bad takes, he seemed to be pretty level-headed in his thought process as it pertained to this conversation as well. It was only Friday that was confused. But again, let's go ahead and play it. And it's only a portion. It's not from the whole, it's not the whole live or anything. This is a few minutes from it.
DJ Hed. Now, I've watched your perspective on all of this. I think the whole world has, actually. You know what I mean? I think you have been our lens into this camp and a lot of decisions that were being made. But one thing I really did appreciate that you were talking about on Effective Immediately this week was you were saying either people are being critical of him not playing typically the white man's game at the Super Bowl. And he went in and went all the way in and stood on what he wanted to say, and he made a unique experience out of it. Where are you at in this conversation that we're having right now? This very spirited, fiery conversation. What does this moment for Kendrick look like to you, and what do you think about his decision-making at the Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, I kind of said it, but I think that, well, first of all, Friday, with all due respect, you wrong as two left shoes, unless you corrective shoes are needed for someone's walking condition. But I think so. It's a couple of things. It's a couple of things that people are missing about this, right? I maintain the same positioning that I've maintained since episode 1 and of the bigger picture, and since we launched Effective Immediately, and since the summer or the springtime. If you are not authentically of this culture, and I'm not talking about hip hop culture, I'm talking about urban street culture, you will not understand what it means to completely pack someone out, obliterate the opponent, leave them. Where we come from, Gina can attest to this. I don't know where y'all from. Wayno probably, maybe. I don't know how they politics work in Harlem. Where we come from, there's a thing called a friendly, which was offered to the boy. Right, a friendly would be like if me and Justin or me and Wayno had an issue. We homies, we can catch a friendly. After that, we shake hands or we don't, and we go our separate ways. It's kind of deaded at that point. If we are not friends, we were always taught ain't no fair ones. What that means is complete obliteration of the adversary. That means that there is no, oh, this is too far, or same school as, if you go back and look, the same school that Pusha T comes from. He's like, what you mean I went too far? Because people who are not authentically of the culture are participating in things that they don't know shit about. So when things go left to them from their perspective, they think, oh, this is too far, or this is, but when you use certain verbiage in certain environments or hoods across them, however you want to look at it, right? When you use certain verbiage, when you say SMD, where Wayno from, those are fighting words. When you call somebody weird on where I'm from, those are fighting words. When you call somebody a bitch unilaterally, those are fighting words. When you say something like it's up, that means that there's no more dialogue that needs to happen. That means it's all physicality, right? Or violence that needs to take place. What happens is you get these people who don't authentically come from these things, and they say things because they think it's just internet, or they look at World Star and they think that it's just, this is a Tubi movie. This ain't that. This is real life shit going on. So when you mention Wayno's wife, you then can't tell Wayno how to react when he sees you, or you then can't tell Wayno how to respond when it comes to Wayno went too far. You brought up his kids and his family. You can't tell someone how to react when that happens. So what I think is he responded appropriately according to protocol.
1 second applause.
Listen, I can agree with some of the things you're saying, but I feel like all of that is encompassed inside of Not Like Us. Not Like Us is a scathing, dope diss track. Don't get me wrong. I don't think that the song's whack, and I think the song is necessary to be played at the Super Bowl. But you can get all your Drake attention. You can cut his head off, do everything you need to do into one song. Once you start going song, now you're wasting material on a nigga that I feel like it shouldn't be running that much space in your head.
Again, we're having two separate conversations, bro. You're having a rap conversation. I'm telling you that rap was used as a vehicle to disseminate how he felt about certain things. Does that make sense?
I just feel like the stage was too big for that. I'm gonna stand on that.
You don't get to dictate how someone responds to your disrespect.
It's just my opinion. I just feel like
no. I'm just saying. Like, that's what I'm telling you. We're coming from two different places, perspective wise. Where we from, you don't get to dictate how I respond to your disrespect. If you,
it's the same over here too. If somebody disrespects me, somebody calls me a goof. My first protocol is not to call them a goof back. No, it's to punch them in the mouth. That's an activation word in Toronto.
Or
just
so
like weird is an activation word in LA. You call it somebody a goof over here, it comes from inside the jail cells. You call somebody a goof over here, you better be swinging or you're a pussy.
Okay, so with that perspective in mind, if someone says to you like, "Yo, Friday, I don't like this. Let's get into it. Let's have a competition. Let's have a content war or whatever niggas is doing on the internet, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna crash out on you on my stream, and then I want you to crash out on me on my screen. You know, so let's have a content thing, right? But then I cross the line and I say something to you, right? Where I call you a goof on my stream.
Mm-hmm.
You then are like, you respond and you do a whole video of just berating me, right?
Yeah.
And then I come on my stream and I'm complaining like, oh, you went too far. I don't get to do that if I was the aggressor. Does that make sense?
Of course. I've dealt with it in my own content. I have people that are going at me to this day because I told them, suck your mom, which is another Toronto thing that you just can't say to somebody.
I don't know how that works, but
that's a Jamaican thing for us.
We got a lot of Jamaican slang, but I said it on a live stream in one of my rants about another content creator over here, and to this day, he is never going to let it go. And guess what? I understand, but it's not like he's going to spend every living day making content about me. He made his content about me, and he kept it moving.
But what I'm saying to you is, if he were to continue making content
let me land. He wouldn't come up on Culture United, a big platform, and be like, oh, by the way, that Friday guy, because now I'm renting space in his head.
Now I'm gonna be honest. Goof. Wow, that's insults out in Canada. Goof. Damn. That's what get y'all going. You a goof. But whatever. Y'all see where he was going? Now, I would have to beg to differ. If homeboy, and I don't know who this person is that don't like him content-wise, but I'm sure if Justin Hunt were to invite him on to Culture United and you know, content came up, I'm sure that dude would probably take his opportunity to put it on Front Street that he don't rock with you. He'll probably say something like, you know, these motherfuckers be blocking me over here, or this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Because that's his spotlight. When is he ever going to get a spotlight that big to shoot at you? But nonetheless, we ain't talking about that. We talking about rap. We talking about hip hop. We talking about I'm performing my latest and greatest right here, baby. This all new material. This all shit less than a full 12 months old. Yeah, I'm doing Euphoria. Yeah, I'm doing Not Like Us. And I'm going to rap about this shit and make reference to it on my new album. Why would I not? That's a part of the playbook. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Drake know what the playbook look like. That nigga said summer 16 on Meek ass. I'm sorry. We've mentioned it so much. I'm tired of fucking mentioning it. Like, he goes out on stage in his fucking snowboard gear, and he fucking threw the nigga whole shit on the Jumbotron every night at the tour. But I go out and do a 13-minute performance. I mix in a couple diss records with my latest and greatest and a couple of joints to give SZA some shine. I cut a nigga TV off. And y'all niggas just can't accept it for what it is. You got your underwears in a bunch. For what reason? Oh, you spent too much time on it. 2 records? That's too much time? What the fuck is that in the background? Hold on, y'all. Nigga came in here with the spooky ass shit too, man. Friday, what the fuck you doing? Who you summoning up in that bed? That shit, that man sounded like the beginning of Blair Witch, didn't it? What the fuck? Hold on, man. Let me make sure ain't no other shit finna start playing. Man, that threw me off. Shit getting crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious in that bed, ain't it? But anyway, getting back to the matter at hand, I don't believe that Not Like Us is the most divisive song in hip hop in history. That nigga didn't say rap history, hip hop history. That motherfucker just said it in history. I don't think so. It might be the biggest song in hip hop history. It might be, probably gonna go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, diss song, just based on sheer impact, success, and how it hasn't died down yet, and people still playing it and loving it. It's taking a life of its own. I don't think I've seen anything like that in my lifetime to this degree. But I think Friday definitely overestimated what Kendrick was trying to do. I don't think this was about trying to decimate Canada and eliminate y'all from being a part of hip hop. He's coming to Canada on his tour. Why would he do that? I just think you should, people sometimes have an issue with removing themselves. You were never in the situation. So why is it so hard to remove yourself from the situation as if he was dissing you specifically? I don't understand that. I don't know why he took that play. I don't know why he brought it to social media when he had an ample opportunity to voice his feelings man to man with DJ Hed in that live stream. They were on for damn near over 2 hours. Not once did he say, "Why are you trying to other me, bro? Why are you trying to exclude me from hip hop? Why are you trying to remove Canada from the conversation?" I didn't see that. So nowhere could you email DJ Hed. You couldn't DM him. You couldn't. I don't know if y'all got each other phone number to text, but I'm sure there's ample opportunity that you had to voice whatever that was with DJ Hed specifically, rather than coming and making a general statement and adding Kendrick Lamar on Twitter to get your rocks off. I don't think that was fly. I don't think that was cool. And I think you definitely played the wrong hand, but you wanted a moment. You wanted to go viral. I guess you got it. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.